Yo, what's up, guys? Coded here, and today we got a Cool Dude Teach Me episode 4. In this episode, we're going to be using the AK-12. I know I should have covered the AK-12 a bit sooner because this is one of the first weapons you unlock, but I figured that I would want to use a little bit more of the harder to use weapons. As you guys do know, that the AK-12 isn't really one of the harder weapons to use. The weapon's actually kind of easy if you have the right setup. In this gameplay right here, we're going to be using the AK-12 bleeder. What's so unique about this gameplay that I made sure that I did do was I used some lower grade attachments. I do believe in this video I did have stock unlocked and laser unlocked and I had everything, but I wanted to take a different approach to it. Even though I was using the AK bleeder version, I was obviously had the default version. I wasn't really trying to use the default. So the gameplay you're gonna be watching, I believe I dropped 3 Paladins this gameplay, really beast gameplay, and I was using lower grade attachments so you guys had the ability to relate to the gameplay and could really build off it. If you guys don't know what the bleeder does, is the bleeder is one of the stronger variants of damage wise. It has a bit of a longer damage and it has a little bit longer range, but what's so unique about it is it drops the fire rate, so the little recoil AK-12 does have is now completely gone, and you're given the Call of Duty Ghost iron sights. So I believe the Call of Duty Ghost iron sights bounce a lot less. So this weapon is a really good weapon to use at the starting levels. As I said before, I have the bleeder variant, so you guys that don't have the bleeder variant may not be able to benefit as much as I do, but I'll build you guys a class. In the gameplay, you're going to be seeing foregrip suppressor, and at the end of the day, I don't know if foregrip suppressor is the best attachment setup for the AK, but you can never go too wrong with the suppressor. The way that the AK is set up in this game is according to the stats within the game, which sometimes aren't really as true as they should be. The AK is said to be a pretty much all-around better weapon than the bow for some reason. So the setup I could give to you, because the bow kind of dominates at all ranges, or especially close range, you want to keep the AK at a little bit of a shorter range because the fire rate's a lot lower and has a little bit higher damage and a little bit better accuracy in the AK. So you want to play a little bit further back. You don't want to be in close range. You want to focus on medium range gunfights with the regular AK variant. But with the bleeder variant, or even with the regular AK variant, you could play a bit medium to longer ranges. It's really great because of the fire rate and low recoil. So the setup I could build for you guys right off the bat is, due to us playing a bit of a further range, or not as close of, we're not going to be looking for gunfights. We're not going to really need stock in the build I'm going to give you guys. So what I want to give you right now is the best setup that I have imaginable. With the AK, you have really clean iron sights. Pretty much every weapon in this game, except the HBR, you have really clean iron sights. So you're not going to really need an optic on this weapon, especially because we're going to be at longer ranges. So you're going to keep the iron sights, actually, with the Call of Duty Ghost iron sight versions, because it's really, really good. And the AK does have a little bit of recoil, as I said before, but due to the slower fire rate on my variant, I didn't really need foregrip, but I used it anyway. So if you guys are using the default AK, foregrip would be a great choice. And your second perk second attachment should be quick draw. So foregrip quick draw is a really, really good setup for this weapon for longer ranges. If you want to go even out for longer ranges and you're not too keen with the iron sights, you could do foregrip quick draw red dot. Always try to keep that foregrip in there, but if you are using red dot, you're not really going to need foregrip. If you're trying to use red dot, you're not going to need the foregrip as much. A lot of the attachments are really good on the AK. I don't suggest stock because that'll make you want to play a bit more aggressive, and this weapon is not good for being aggressive whatsoever. So try to keep it at minimal range. Extended mags proves to be pretty good on this weapon due to the high damage profile, especially on the bleeder. You could just wallbang people, but like I said, if you play this weapon correctly, you're not gonna get into any gunfights, and you're not gonna need the wall bang. You're gonna kill people before they can even react. So let's cut to the chase right now. I gave you guys the gun. I gave you guys the attachments. Let's talk about the class we're gonna use with this weapon. Due to us playing a bit of a further range, the way that Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is set up is you can get shot in the back quite a bit, especially if you're not with a party. So you might get shot in the ass a whole lot. So the setup I could give you guys is a low profile setup if you are using suppressor. If you're not using suppressor, don't bother with low profile. But low profile is a really good perk to use if you are using suppressor. And back to what I was saying before, the AK is a really good weapon to use suppressor on at longer ranges, because the gun has extremely long range to begin with, especially the bleeder, and suppressor won't really affect the time to kill too much. So really good setup with the weapon would be low profile, perk 2, blind eye, whatever you honestly prefer. I would recommend things like peripherals or blind eye. Then for your perk 3 with the AK, because we're not going to be getting into a whole lot of gunfights, you could just go with scavenger. Exo ability up to you. Attachments up to you, and because you're going to be playing a bit of a further range, you could kind of just camp back, go for 4 kill streaks, which is what I do when I have my AK leveled up. So This is a quick video. I just want to show you how to with the AK. This is a pretty good gameplay I got right here. I did get a vicious, but I hope you guys enjoy. It's been